Good morning, everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Today I have a unique office, which I don't have very often. It happens to be on Hawaii. It happens to be Oahu. In Hawaii, just outside of Waikiki and all the fancy stuff that you hear about, not too far from the airport. And what's so lovely out here is I rarely wear shorts, let alone a bathing suit. I live near the beach. I just don't do that. I'm a procrastinator. I'm afraid of the cold, but I love the view. And today we have a special guest that we're going to talk about all the way from California, Vandenberg Space Force Base, which is a place I retired from many moons ago. But we're going to get their perception on Hawaii, having fun, forgiveness, all kinds of different things. So please put your hands together and help me welcome the two ladies, Paula and Vanessa. Hello, ladies.
Aloha.
Aloha. All right, so first of all, what bringing you to Hawaii this particular time of year, besides the weather? I mean, this is gorgeous.
Well, we're actually at work, and we have this wonderful opportunity to take lunch away from the convention that we're attending, and it's a prevention conference, and that's why we're here.
It's the Institute for Violence and Trauma. Abuse and trauma.
Abuse, violence, and trauma prevention.
That's the career field that we work in.
Well, tell us a little bit about your career field, Vanessa.
Well, it does deal with violence, and it does deal with intervention, and it deals specifically with discrimination and toxic workplaces where, to put it in layman's terms, you just feel uncomfortable and dread coming to work every day. And actually, that's not any way to live your life.
But that's not your workplace. That's the stuff that you work to.
Right. Tell me about what you do. Sometimes when you're on vacation or even working, we often forget we get that little break.
That definitely isn't my workplace. My workplace is where we attempt to eradicate discrimination, and that's discrimination of any kind, based on your race, your color, your religion, your national origin, where you're from, your gender, your sexual orientation, and it just goes on and on and on. Those are no things. Discrimination is no place for the workplace, and that's why I have a job.
I agree with that. Well, Paula, tell us a little bit about exactly what you do at your job.
So my job dovetails really well with Vanessa's because I work with teaching resilience. And a lot about being resilient is knowing how you want to be as your ideal self. And so working to be your ideal self, respecting yourself and respecting others, when you work on that, you work. That's why me and Vanessa work really well together.
Right. So respect is a big thing, like she said. If you have respect in the workplace and you stick with the core values, the Air Force has core values. Respect is not one of them, but respect goes hand in hand with the core values of the Air Force, which is integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do. You add respect to that and you won't have any problems.
That's funny because when you add respect to that, then you have the Toastmasters core values, which we happen to be part of also. Well, what we sadly know, there's racism and, prejudice. A lot of us have that. And even today in 2023, how do we forgive people or recognize when people are being slighted, per se? How do we forgive or recognize or remind people like maybe that's not appropriate?
Well, that's exactly what we do through resilience. I think first and foremost, you have to recognize that you have to let all those little things, and they are little things, you have to let them go, or they will become insurmountable. Yes. Forgiveness is a big thing.
And I think it comes with you knowing that you're in control of your feelings, and that's all you're in control of. So if you know how to manage your feelings and forgive, then you're going to be okay. And I think one good thing is just knowing and remembering the big picture of all things. I mean, something may be bugging you and you just wish that it could change, and sometimes we get so lost in it. But if we step back and just remember what a beautiful life we have.
We have a beautiful life, and you don't have to be in Hawaii to enjoy a beautiful life. And we know we do our best to, give forgiveness to people. And sometimes they accept it, sometimes it doesn't. How do we move on if the problem's still there? We can't really let it go. We forgive, but do we really let everything go?
You have to learn how to let go. And every time that you have one of those precipitating thoughts that bring you back to that moment, that event, and drags you down, you have to replace that thought with one that takes you away from there. And then that will be actually called a refrain.
Yes.
That will be your go-to to get away from those negative thoughts that will drown you.
Yeah, and
Even if
part,
it's
right.
like being here.
Yeah.
Just go back to that moment.
Exactly. And part of being resilient is being able to learn from your past experiences, grow from them, and then be better.
Right.
Well,
Grow from them.
Well, that's a good point, because every one of us has issues through life. People slighted us, done us wrong. We may have done it to other people. We try to forgive and forget, but sometimes we don't really forget those things. What do you recommend or tell other people? I know resilience we keep talking about, but you don't forget just by resilience. How do you truly learn to forgive someone that might continue doing you wrong? Or how do you deal with that?
I believe you have to practice what you preach, and when you learn resilience, it's a life-saving skill. It's a skill that you can rely on. I believe that's why they teach resilience in the armed services. They teach resilience in the armed services so that you can bank on those skills and resort to them to get you out of a war zone. And that war zone can be your mind.
Wow.
Your mind.
That's a good point. You ever think about things that maybe your mind's holding you back from truly forgiving people, or even asking forgiveness?
Yeah, I like to ask the question, what's the most important thing right now? And sometimes asking that question will help you to realize that, peace is more important. And you choose peace,
Right
that'll
now.
help you to just let go.
Yeah. Stay focused and centered on the moment. Like today, who would want to be anywhere else than here? Look around.
Right. And I don't want to think about anything or anyone that is giving me issues right now, and that's a choice that I make.
Right.
So that's
Right.
the key.
Yeah.
I
You'll
agree.
go right back there, and I'd rather be here.
I agree. Even though we live in California on the beach, it's just a different atmosphere. It's not as warm, for one thing. The water's not as clear, usually, and it's different, but we still live near the water. To me, that's calming. And I'm a scuba diver, but I don't scuba dive in California anymore because it's cold and I'm getting old and don't like it so much. So vacationing where it's warm is my thing, but not everyone necessarily has to travel to Hawaii or Alaska or even Florida just to feel a good sense of themselves. What are some other ways that you can go out and feel good about yourself and how you're living your life?
I think you could just go out in nature. Just step outside. Take a walk. Movement is medicine. Sometimes if you just have a hard time making a decision, take a walk and you'll see that it may help you to come to a decision that you probably were struggling with.
I agree. I know that I used to run for a while, and when I got away from that, I went down, not just physically, but mentally. I just kind of sunk into depression, and I realized that the physical endorphins that happen when you run and you get out, and a body in motion tends to stay in motion, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. That really happens. I'd rather be out there doing things and getting my body running, and those endorphins that combat any form of depression or negativity from my own perspective.
Sorry.
Take a walk, take a run, do gardening, remove yourself.
That's a good point. We hit the gym this morning. Obviously, I can't keep up with you most days, but I still make some effort. And
it was packed.
The gym was packed at the hotel, and even though we walked probably 3 or 4 miles, there came to a point, let's get a taxi. Even though Hawaii looks like a small island, it's still a long island if you're walking, and spending a couple hours just walking around hitting the different shops is a way to relax. I have a question for you ladies, because a lot of people, I like to, I forgot how you say it, I like to sightsee, I like to window shop. I don't have to necessarily buy something. And I know a lot of people can't afford to buy the things they really want. How do you deal with that when you know people really can't afford it? And again, that's a perception. We may think they can't afford it. Maybe they're multimillionaires, who knows? But how do we make people feel comfortable just by window shopping?
I think there's no rule or no expectation that we should place on each other. I had fun today showing you and Vanessa all my old stomping grounds.
Oh, that was great.
We're here. I used
Right.
to work here.
Right.
We didn't spend a penny yet,
No.
besides the taxi
Right.
here.
Yeah.
But don't put any expectations. Don't think that if people are there with shopping bags and everything that they're happy.
Yep.
You be happy with what be happy with what you have.
And I tell you what, that shopping bag not necessarily is going to make you happy. And I know that they say retail therapy, but the retail place can sometimes be a thrift store, and you can get such a bargain there that you're on a high and you leave with that bargain. That's worth more to you and the moment and the memories that it brings than something that you could have bought that's designer from Tiffany's.
Exactly. I mean, getting older, I realize now that I want to just collect experiences more than things.
Yeah, for sure. They last longer.
Now I just want to get rid of things. Exactly.
Amen to that. It was just over the last few years I'm realizing that experiences far outweigh the things we have. And a few years ago, I was able to take my older son racing Ferraris through Denver, Colorado.
Nice.
And taking my brother, and taking my brother to wonderful 5-star places in Scottsdale, Arizona, and spending time with it's so great, the experiences. That's why I joined a vacation club. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be near a beach. It could be the mountains or the valley. And California has all that, the mountains, the valleys, the beaches, and that's always pretty exciting about there. Anything else? Like, I'm a procrastinator at heart. I know I get my hands in a lot of different fires and pots, and people think I'm doing so great and I'm busy. But sometimes I take too long to take action, and that slows down my progress. Any procrastinators out there?
Yeah, I'm sure that there are a lot. I'm a procrastinator, but the one thing that I swear by is I'm not a multitasker, and even though I may have a lot of irons in the fire, I complete one thing at a time. And I have a checklist, and when I'm done, I check it off. That works for me. How about you, Pauline?
I think I do that too. It takes me, I'm probably the worst procrastinator, but I get things done. And then I realize, and I wish it would just click in my head, that when I get things done, I feel better about it.
Yeah.
And I just do it.
Right. And don't take on too much. You know, we can't do everything.
Can't do everything. I think one last question. Well, there's obviously, feel free to elaborate, but we all have a place that brings peace in our hearts. We all have a place that's calming to us. So, Pauline, where exactly is your happy place?
My happy place is my garden, which is just in my backyard.
Wow.
So very accessible. It's where I go.
That's
as soon
always
as I
nice.
wake up.
Yeah.
When I wake up, when I come home, I'll go and check my garden. So I love it. And we can create these little oases, wherever we are.
I like that. What do you think about, Vanessa? Where's your
I
happy
agree
place?
with that. You know, I do a little bit of gardening. I have plants in my office.
A little bit. You have like 30 plants at home.
Yeah, I do. But I still like to get next to the water. I think there's nothing as peaceful as just being here, sitting in the sun, feeling and hearing the waves.
It's important.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
makes
just
a
self-care.
difference.
Yeah.
That is self-care
It
for
is
me.
self-care.
Makes me healthy.
Oh, I like that. Self-care. Now, how a lot of people don't know how to find a place that makes them happy. Probably because they have stress and just they bring that stress from the workplace with them everywhere they go, and they can't release it. How do you release some of that stress?
I think that's an art that you have to learn. You have to learn how to do it. Just let it go, as I said before. You have to get to a point where you recognize that, oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. Stop, rethink that thought, and then reframe your whole experience.
Reframing, I like that very much. Trying to find the right place that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Well,
And once you get there, stay there.
well, we still have to make a living, and sometimes our jobs are not our most happiest places that we can we can have. So anyways, before I let you ladies go, any last words of wisdom to people to have a more happier, fruitful, productive lives?
Yeah, I like the saying hang loose. They do that here, and I know I'm kind of getting to what, nobody's rushed, nobody's hurried. I think, where we come from, it's always
Stop.
but they still seem to maintain their work lives without, all the extra stress that comes with it. So, hang loose would be my last thought.
Yeah, definitely. And I would just say, just don't take things for granted. Count your blessings.
Count your
practice
blessings.
Gratitude.
Sure.
That definitely, I know that when I'm having a bad day and I practice gratitude, when I'm having a bad day, that's when I know that I have to practice gratitude the most, and I can see the biggest difference during those times.
Right. Be thankful for what you have and for what you don't have.
Well, that's true too. Too many, if we had everything we wished for when we were younger, life would be pretty miserable right now. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for your insight.
Thank you.
Deeply appreciate it.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. All right, well, you heard that, everyone. Indie Office can be anywhere, and we appreciate your comments. And please subscribe to our channel. And, Indie Office with Joseph Skoda, josephskoda.com. You can find me on social media shows, a lot of different places. But tell us what your ideas are, where your happy place is, and what do you do about procrastination? What do you do about finding your happy place? What do you do about having a more fruitful and productive life? Regardless of what you do, make it count, make a difference. You don't have to be stressed out all the time. You don't have to go to a beautiful beach or ocean all the time. That's not necessarily going to bring the peace you're looking for. Find that peace, embrace that peace, and make that peace part of your life. While you've been in the office with Joseph Skoda, you have yourself a great day. And continue to subscribe to our channel, leave comments, and let us know what you think. God is good, and us too can be good. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day.